Houston Rockets. Oh, we are
We
second.
balling. We balling.
Second in the West. But of course, as being a team with so many picks and plethora of young players and all that, you go into rumors of superstars that are available.
Yeah.
Um, we've had our rumors, of course, as the Kevin Durant's and all these other guys. Today it was reported that the Rockets and the Dallas Mavericks are the two teams interested in Jimmy Butler, Mr. 35-year-old Jimmy Butler, 36-year-old Jimmy Butler. Um,
Like, what are you giving up though?
I have no idea because
I'm pretty sure it would be Jalen Green in that deal.
he
Pretty
has
sure.
he hasn't played a full season, I think, since in like 4 or 5 years.
Like
So
the thought of Jimmy Butler on the team is good to me, but I don't want to give up my young players for Jimmy Butler.
yeah, that's kind of
You know
where
what I'm
I'm.
saying? I actually think that he would be like one of the stars that could just come in and fit in because our style kind of fits what he does. And I think that they would be receptive to him. But I just, what I would have to give up would be too close in stats to what he's going to offer me.
If you got to keep Jalen and Shingun, would you?
No, because I mean,
Yeah,
because then what are they going to want? Two good players? You know what I mean? They're going to want a
Jabari and
Jabari and a men. It's like I'm not willing to come off of that for a, like. Is even with Jimmy Butler, does it make you a contender?
no, not in the West.
That's my
Yeah,
thing. Like, uh, I'm going to entertain this conversation because the idea of trades is fucking fun to think about when you're a basketball fan because there's just nothing else to do, and so I'm going to have this conversation. But like, at the root of me, I don't want to trade anybody,
yes,
even the people that piss me off because it's apparent that the entire team bought into whatever it is we're doing and we're winning.
yeah.
It's like, dude, you don't have one 20-point average score, but every night somebody's putting up 35, 38 triple doubles, or you know what I'm saying? So
Team
I don't
basketball.
know that. Yeah, it's team basketball, like, and we're deep.
Yeah, somebody can come in. It's one of the deepest benches in basketball. If
I think
you,
it's the deepest team in basketball. I
yeah,
can't think of anybody close except OKC, maybe.
yeah. The other name that got brought up, and it wasn't too much linked to the Rockets, but of course everybody's being linked to us, and it was just more of the fact he wants to be on a team that's playing for something. And I know we've had his name brought up before. We both agree we do not want to trade for him because we did not see anything. It is Brandon Ingram.
Oh yeah, not
So
anymore. You could have talked me into that 2 years ago, but like today, not a fucking chance.
yeah, and it's saying that they're probably gonna move on from him and everything. So our name got brought up as a maybe, but I'm like, we already have so many players. It's like I don't need.
I believe that somewhere between Tari Eason and Jabari, I got you already. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
yeah. But interesting. And I'll give credit to Brad on Twitter. He pretty much brought up two names, more off-season trades, unless they become available. One of them, of course, he declined his option, so it more than likely is going to be traded if he did. And we are actually going to be playing him today of this recording. DeAaron Fox from Sacramento. Credit to Rocket Edit for the graphic. That one's a tough one because it's feasible, but do I really want it?
There's no way they're going to ever trade him to us without taking a guard back,
Yes.
right? And I just think that I couldn't. Who they want, Jalen or Amin?
Yeah.
I don't want to give up either one of them. Not for him. Like, in order for me to break up my nucleus of my untouchables, who I consider untouchables,
Yeah.
it has to be an earth-shattering fucking trade. Like, it has to be somebody who's so good they can win playoff series on their own, like
Yeah.
a Giannis. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And if you haven't seen, we did a Giannis video. I'll put it up above us. The other
DeAaron Fox
one,
just does not move the needle enough for me to do it. It's a good story. Come back home, play here, but like,
yeah. The other,
sorry, we'll do a direct to straight to TV.
yeah. The other guy we've talked about plenty of times. He's always linked to us. We did a video with all the other guys that don't amount to it. It's not really moving the needle. Devin Booker, of course, depending on how they do there in the playoffs, will forever be linked to us. It feels like until
that just comes down to would you trade Jalen Green for Devin Booker, because that's pretty much what that's going to be.
Yeah,
and then they'll probably want one more player.
Yeah, and I think that's more of the definitely off season with Kevin Durant being on their team, Bradley Beal. It's how do they amount in the playoffs? Do they make the playoffs? And all that.
I mean, I don't want to say that's a wash. There's a strong possibility our team could, in theory, be a little bit better with Devin Booker, only because he's more efficient than Jalen. But this is going to sound fucking retarded. I think if you trade Jalen for Devin Booker, when Devin Booker gets here, as much as I know about the Rockets, I would feel like this is Sengun's team now.
Yeah.
I would be like, okay, he's the one, Booker's still the two. I hope Booker knows that. Even though Booker's better than Jalen still had roots here.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like 1A, 1B. You have a kind of argument for yourself of it.
Well, because I feel like it would be the front office's way of directly saying, we want somebody like Jalen, but we want him to play off of Sengun.
Yeah.
This way, and that's pretty much what Booker is.
That's why they got Durant. That's why they got these other guys to go around him. He's the guy that he's. I mean, if you do it that way, it kind of, and I hate the comparison, but it reminds me of like a Nikola with Jamal Murray type thing. Like, all right, you're the big man in there, you're the guy out. What we want Jalen to be, but Jalen has a little bit more authority here, like you said. That
Jalen's like the only one who could stand up to Sengun from being the guy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
yeah, that's justified. Now the last one, and this one is only because of how bad the team has been. He's being linked to us a lot, and this is probably the guy that we both and many people around the Houston organization that do content like us have said absolutely if he became available. And it's a guy that we like, Anthony Edwards, Minnesota.
Yeah. Figure that the fuck out.
Like, if
that dude becomes available, that's an epic fail on their GM.
Yes.
For one. And what would I give up? Jalen? I'm giving you a guard back. I'd probably give you Reed Shepherd. Optimally, I'm going to offer you up Reed Shepherd and some picks before I ever let you touch him in. That's my goal, is to make that trade and keep Amin, Tari, and Sengun.
Yeah.
That would be my optimal goal in making that trade.
And the NBA is a weird thing. I mean, we've seen players be like, I'm leaving. And teams are like, I'd rather get something for you than not.
I don't think he would, though. I don't think he would say that.
The part that came out was when he said that his locker room is playing selfishly, like that they're.
Oh, you brought a selfish ass player in there, Julius Randle,
and so they're doing abysmal in the West. It's still early, but he's very vocal. He's very vocal on how I mean, we know that's his team. If you don't know, that's
but let's not see. My thing is if you look at their stat sheet, sometimes I think we praise him more than he should. It's like, all right, bro. Like, if Jalen Green had that game, people would be saying trade that fool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, you're Ant, so nobody don't say shit.
Yeah. Because I mean, being honest, like he had his struggles in the playoffs. I mean, he admitted it too on his Netflix. He was like, I played terrible. He goes, I was so mad. He goes, I didn't show up, and it happens, and it's a learning curve for sure. But his ceiling that you get with him is just like,
I think his ceiling is fucking high, and his floor is higher than a lot of people's fucking ceiling. I think that dude's good. There's
Like
gonna be a year or two where he's gonna be the best player in the league.
like we always say, him and Ja are like two guys that you just are like, damn. Like,
It was so funny the other day, like some GM or whatever asked the question. They were like, if you could start a franchise with Ja or LaMelo, who would you pick? And I think 60% of the people picked LaMelo over Ja. And I was like, hold on. I thought we all were in agreement that Ja was like that guy. I
it's
guess
the
not.
disciplinary stuff. I don't look at that. I look at the talent.
I say Steph's the best point guard, then Luka, then Ja.
I'm cool with it. I fucks with Ja. I fucks with Anthony Edwards. And as far as the rumors, I mean, they're only going to get worse as teams suck. And the thing,
it's funny to me. You know why I don't give a fuck? You know why I don't give a fuck? I'm gonna tell you why I don't give a fuck. I was watching basketball shit earlier or yesterday, and Lou Williams was on whatever that show is he does with Chandler Parsons and Michelle Beadle, and he was like, the Rockets don't care about all that shit because we're stable. And they're like, what are you talking about? They're like, they took care of Según and Jalen before the season started, so that narrative's not hanging over. Nobody's fucking hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have no like bad stories really.
Yep.
Dylan Brooks ain't fucking up. So they're like, that's just shit people, as we do better, that's just more story people are going to put toward this because they got to talk about something. And it's fun to think about somebody getting traded.
It's funny though, because it's like, being honest, you're in that boat where OKC and Boston were a few years ago, where it's like you have assets. You have so many assets that we don't even talk about, all these picks and all that stuff. Your draft picks have been hitting. So it's like you have stuff. And so people are trying to push your stuff forward faster for you. But we're seeing this team. We watched every game. We see this team from beginning to end of how well they're playing. I mean, you got Jabari that's not even getting credit around the league.
Cam Whitmore don't even get to play.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's, I mean, you get people critiquing certain things. You're second in the West. You just beat OKC, number one in the West. It's the narrative. Like, I get it when you want to get these. Of course, Anthony Edwards is one of those guys. If he becomes available, you probably just like, hey, scrap all that shit we just said. Like, let's figure out a way to do it. Giannis, I can see why you would make arguments for, but some of these guys, I don't think the Rockets or Ime and them are going to be like, let's do that. Like,
I'm telling you, it has to be somebody so big that it moves the needle like crazy. Like, there's guys out there we don't consider to be that, but I think they would. Meaning, like, if they wanted Dame Lillard, they could get him and win the trade. And then you would be like, is Lillard worth it? And you'd be like, it just depends on what you're giving up. Because Lillard is, when we go on them stretches where, like, you can't score, Lillard to get a bucket. You know what I mean? Lillard could play off of Sengun.
Yeah.
So, like, there's people like him that we ain't even considered.
And you're looking at the very top, and there's players in between that you can fit well in your schemes. Like you said, Lillard, and it's all right. Those are guys that I wouldn't be surprised if we go. But I mean, I think it just matters on how well or how bad the Rockets are doing. Like, if we start stumbling, then it's like, oh shit, all right, what do we need to do? But
I don't feel like the we'll have bad games. Obviously, we'll have bad week, maybe. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that we're gonna stay number 2. But I told y'all early in the season, I think you could still make the playoffs and not even have to do the play-in tournament. Because we're so deep, bro. Like, Ime never chases anybody. Like, he don't give a fuck who's playing, just do it right. So he's like, Tari Easton was on fire for like 2 weeks, and then for like a week, you just like, where's Tari? And he's like, oh, he ain't playing good. You sit his dumb ass down, you know? So that's why I don't ever worry about getting stuck in them ruts like that.
Yeah. We got to remember, it's year 2. Ime pretty much has almost the same roster. He knows who who can do what, this and that. It's not that first year of you're getting to know me, I'm getting to know you. And I mean, being honest, the vets that we brought in, Fred and Dylan, they're pretty much, I mean, the last OKC game, they're the ones that led us to that win.
Steven Adams.
The veterans are playing. Uncle Green don't even have to play right now. He's just chilling on the bench.
Fucking damn, he ain't played. Jayshawn Tate.
Yeah,
he just be chilling, bro. He
chilling.
ain't played so long. I just forgot his name.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I don't. As of right now, I think we can agree. Rockets don't make a trade. When I posted this on our Facebook, I was the first thing I said. I was like, us on Bayou City Boys don't think we need a trade, and it got like 40 likes automatically right there. Because if you watch the games, this team's fun. It has enough talent. Defense is legit. The depth they have is crazy, and the youth is even crazier.
You just slugged it out in an overtime game with the Timberwolves, who went to the Western Conference Finals and they fought. They have playoff experience. They know how to do that shit, and you beat them in that. And then you slug it out with OKC and come out on top. Like, we're legit, bro. Like, I'm not trying to say we're like what legit means, but it's like none of that shit's by accident. Yeah. Like, the work is showing for itself right now.
I agree. Well, I guess buckle up because it's only December. We still got a few more months. At least till trade deadline, this stuff's going to blow up even more and stuff. So until February. But as of now, staying pat, unless it's Anthony Edwards, which that won't happen at any time soon. So Rockets fans, enjoy the team we have. Jump on the bandwagon because they're legit. Other than that, we are out of here, Houston. All love from us on Bayou City Boys. Later.